Let's just start at this point. Has my bot actually announced things? Is it working or do I need to... No, it isn't working. Why are you not working, you... What has suddenly come over you? I have fixed you specifically to stop you from dying. And what do? Not announce my stream, which I've done over 5 minutes ago, which means you must have died in the meantime. Why do you not work? You know, I have basic expectations of these stupid stuff to work, and then just it does stuff like this and just kicks the bucket and dies for random reasons. Ugh. So what are you doing? Why are you not sending... Okay, yeah, it gets errors for calling the API. Oh, but like we gave you a new token just now. What? Okay, its token expired after an hour. No, that's a new rate. Like, okay, I authorized it, so you know your refresh token should be able to. No, you are incapable of refreshing your token. What the hell is happening here? Are you like completely stupid at this point, software? Like, I cleared the token around 11 AM. Deleted the token, restarted the pod to finally fix the problem while having set the API to something new. It's like having set the API to now public, so it should just run. Right? It shouldn't run into any problems at that point anymore. And you know what it did? It's apparently still dying. And it's like, yep, it's just erroring out. So I need to delete again the token and like... and hope that maybe it will just act like a normal piece of software that just works and doesn't have any stupid consistency problems constantly. Why do I have to deal with this specifically? Like, come on. I've done like everything by the book and then just went like, nope, credentials corrupted themselves after like an hour. Oh, that's a new record. I expected it to at least work for a week, you know? Because that was usually the consistency. And that was because it was running in... it was running in dev mode, in testing mode, which means their refresh tokens corrupt after a week. The refresh tokens are set for an expiry time, which, if you have the application deployed, doesn't happen anymore. The tokens do not corrupt themselves at that point anymore. They will perpetually exist. And it's like, yes, so that's kind of what I want. You know, why do we have to fight this stuff? Why do they corrupt now after an hour? Okay, select the account, select this, and it's already done it. Thanks. Thing is, it's not prompting me anymore for the for hey, you giving access to YouTube with this application. I'm like, which is odd. That part is odd, but like the other parts is like, yeah, this should still work, but like apparently it just I think it's not refreshing tokens at that point anymore. If it's like. It previously worked fine, but like now it doesn't work anymore at all. So it's like, yeah, thanks. I gladly appreciate how the software never works. Okay. So now to the next piece of pain. These lap times here. These people are doing 32 lows. Okay, it's disconnected. And reconnection successful. Yeah, this is a bug that is for some reason... I've seen it happen on Linux as well. I think it happened on Linux as well. But yeah, it's definitely happening on Windows regularly, where just OBS will suddenly drop all the frames and then decide to disconnect and then reconnect and then it just works. Sure, that works. Sudo pacman SYYU. What does the double Y actually do? Y refreshes the repo list. So why a forced repositories refresh? I guess the forced repo refresh. Min-max the dampers briefly. And then get on with this qualifying because we're gonna have our handful here. As I said, these people are going fast. Like, fast. I'm gonna need to drop the fuel because I do not know how else I'm gonna get anywhere close to those lap times. Caster. We're not on a casting show, but like for sure that needs to be increased. Tow, we've the only tows of mine in the stream. So take that stuff down and I mean the pressures are probably relatively low. Let's check goes up by 03. I mean it's not hard, but like you know you never know what pressures these setups are actually made for originally. And yeah, let's run max camber as well. Got all the min-maxing stuff. Traction control turned down, we're running brake pads type 2. More direct steering ratio, softer strong springs. Okay, fine. Hit drive. We have now precisely 10 minutes to go. Rona on my laptop. What am I doing with my life? Well, at least better life choices than installing EOS on an Android device. Like, that's just like... They burned me bad with that one. Like, that's just... Like, my day was going... Well, like... It wasn't going bad, but like, I wasn't feeling like great recently, so it's like... I wasn't feeling productive at all. Barely escaping bed at times, and then like this happens, and it's just like, yeah, thanks. I gladly appreciate to be just punched in the guts. Kind of funnily enough, it feels like that right now because probably my body is like, you know, what do you think about going to the toilet? Like, no, just stop. Okay, you passed me out earlier, buddy. We were not gonna. Which is why I'm a bit late to the stream start. Not the end of the world, you know, I'm not judging it too heavily. I've at least reactivated my old phone, so I have an alarm clock tomorrow morning. Good stuff. That thing is painful to use at this point. Like, it's slow as all hell. I've installed a bunch of apps off it to just get it to maybe run a bit more reasonable. After all, it mainly just has to function as an alarm clock. The thing is, last time I tried to, while in this state, reflash Fairphone OS, it didn't even work at all. Like, it only did partial. And then quite fully recover from it. The EOS also only worked after I think I installed the newest version, so like that's fun. That time. But we're buying Fairphone ones. I don't think it is really a problem with the hardware, although it could totally be, considering, you know, it's corrupting file systems. Or I don't even know what is causing that part. Like, the problem is that, like, you have no clue what is actually... I don't even know what crashed the operating system to begin with. Right? Like, clearly something caused the operating system to just kick the bucket at some point. Because it shouldn't have rebooted then. It was in a... It was running, it had electricity and everything. So nothing should have caused the operating system to crash. But it did. Okay, we've put a decent benchmark in here. Was that enough to gear fastest? No, not at all. Jesus. We're being beaten by Johnson in the same car. And Johnson is genuinely not a fast driver. Like, I'm at best, that guy. So, that's not a good sign when I start getting beaten by AM drivers. So I have a bit of work to do. We're not miles off, but like, still half a second around Brands is a lot of time. It's still funny that, like, I think there's about 1.9 values where I did a bunch of car benchmarks around this circuit specifically. And all these cars are like at least half a second slower than what we're doing right now.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
So yeah, that's fun. It's also fun with GT3 traffic. I'm matching my time completely. Oh, come on, I'm still driving turn 1, not right.
Yellow flag accepted.
You said something with the out... They are off bytes, and I'm just have no clue what the in-between word is there. Oh, come on, you piece of shit, why are you understanding this much? And then I've completely overshot this corner. Oh, that's not a great sound. Sound of brake scrape. But yeah, Lukas there, ... elf bytes. I love how the chat just gets cropped because of that stupid icon. I mean, there can't be a word in between, but like since it doesn't make sense. Your sentence just doesn't make sense to me, and I'm just confused. Oh, come on. Why is this car understeering so much under the brakes right now? Like, it's awful. Genuine, complete awfulness. This thing is like no rotation under brakes. None.
Losing time in sector 2.
Yeah, if my car actually, you know, rotated on the brake pedal a bit, I have no real expectation for it to do, but like, I need some brake rotation to get this thing around some of these stupid corners in the circuit. Oh, that's good. It's finally something. But yeah, what I was gonna say, like, second easily slower. That's interesting compared to my 1.9 lap times. I mean, I can check what like temperatures around those are. I don't think it could be much hotter than this. Like, I mean, sure, probably at like 28, 30, it was probably run. You have to do a pass now of me. Just to fuck with me extra. Thief of the bytes, okay? Thief, it was the word, not there. I've said EOS. I've said this already a few times now that I'm running EOS. And I'm not pleased about that. Well, I was running EOS till it corrupted itself again. It's not performing again, the car. The 210's right now faster than Johnson. We're finished with one more attempt basically at a lap. We can probably loosen the car up a lot still. I want to jack the rear right side up further. Although it does have okay rotation in the high speed stuff. I don't have to wait too long for the car to just do something there. It's the slow speeds where the ABS malfunctions and you just go straight. That's fun. What about Lineage? The thing is, EOS is based on Lineage, so I don't know if it's like gonna fix my problem or just being the same experience, just, you know, again. The thing is, what is good about EOS is that they already package, what's it called? The Google replacement, Google Play Services replacement. MicroG? Yeah, MicroG is I think the name of it. They're packaging that already. So like I don't need to install it extra. It's neat. Also I don't need to run Google Play, which is also neat. So I was happily running that despite having to deal with issues with Telegram calls being flaky, where my microphone would just not be picked up sometimes, and sometimes it would be fine. Although the failure rate was like 75% of the calls. But like it didn't fix itself with restarts, it randomly would work like minutes apart. It's bizarre, and like as soon as the call starts it either worked or didn't. And this has been consistent over a few versions of it. Now I didn't have the newest version of EOS installed. That will be 21.1 I think. I had 21, I've had 20 installed when it corrupted. And Slam Graphene Resin. Yeah, it's, you know, if I thought about buying a Pixel, but like, you know, why buy a device from Google to de-Google it? It becomes a bit silly. Why not go for a device that, you know, respects your ownership, like a Fairphone? So that was my arguing for going with that. And then I decided to go with EOS in terms of flashing because it was relatively easy at the time. Because honestly, we're back when I could flash a custom ROM to my Samsung Galaxy S3. It was a lot easier days. These days, shit is just, they lock this stuff down, even on, you know, such a device. You have to still get around all the workarounds, all the blockades they put in your way just to make your life a little less fun. Alright. So let's lower, more for you to hear. Yeah. New officially supported phones. Yeah, for graphene, yeah. This is an additional problem with just Android phone OS swaps. I was like, on x86, basically anything, you have a toaster that's running x86, yeah, you can run Linux on that. Probably also Windows, perhaps not 11, except for workarounds, but like, you know, you can run Linux on that, that's gonna work. But on Android, it's like you have to adapt the image to every single device. back like at this point 8 years ago, back in like 2016, 2015, like there was a bunch of devices supported by Lineage, but like these days, man, it's thinned out. A bunch of the devices are still the same that are supported, which is kind of ironic, but like, you know, not good. It indicates, you know, that people haven't actually moved, that, you know, the newer devices aren't supported with this stuff, and it's just, that sucks, and quite a lot. Right, so we need 1 liter of fuel for the refueling here. Yeah, I'm not doing too well, Greg. My phone has decided to corrupt its file system again. And I say again because this happened back in February. Already once. And I have this phone only since December. Late November, early December. So yeah, it's not been long, and it's like it's done this now for a second time. And it's like, I haven't suffered some devastating data loss with this. Yes, there's a bunch of memes and cute and not so cute anime girl pictures on there that have been now lost. But last time I was able to recoup them relatively easily. This time I'm not so sure I'm actually able to properly able to recoup them all. It's gotta be not particularly too fun with this. So yeah, that's happened now a second time. I'm using a Fairphone 4. I have EOS flashed onto it instead of the regular Fairphone OS. And yeah, that's just been not fun for me. I wasn't doing anything at that point. Like, yes, EOS is not, you know, the main supported operating system, but like, Fairphone does actually sell the Fairphone 4 with EOS pre-installed, so that's a thing. I didn't buy that option, but like, I went through the trouble of self-flashing, but like, this isn't the end of the world. So yeah, the consideration is like, where do I go from that? It's like, because I'm not gonna install an operating system that has corrupted itself twice. The first time this happened, it was I dropped the phone about a meter down. It survived it, but like it's rebooted. So like, okay, it's. I mean, it didn't pop the back off because you remember all the phones when you drop them a bit hard, they pop the back off and the battery falls out. This is a regular failure case for all smartphones. Old phones, flip phones, and smartphones, this would regularly occur, and you just put the pieces back together and it just runs. Right? It didn't do that, but it still suffered the power loss, probably, and then just rebooted and just got stuck in the boot loop because the file system got corrupted. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what happened. Well, I got cosmically unlucky. Whatever. Nothing new. I will just, tried fixing the file system, it didn't respond to that well. Then just, you know, decided to reinstall and it fixed that. It worked for a few months now. Till it just randomly apparently rebooted in my pocket and ran into the same problem again. It had power, there was no large hit onto the floor that like could have unsettled the power or something. That's just something that really should never occur. Like, just file system corruptions is something that should never occur, especially in the internal files, the internals. Especially also the user data footage. It's like, yeah, that's the one that you really shouldn't happen. But yeah, otherwise I wasn't doing anything crazy on the thing. It's like it was. The main pain is just, you know, you have to reflash the thing, you have to unlock the bootloader, reflash the thing, lock the bootloader again, go through all these steps, and then just install all your apps again, set up all the stuff, maybe have to reset some two-phase because I think I didn't move the latest backup out of the thing. All of that fun stuff you have to basically solve.
Car on the right.
Okay, fucking hell, Jesus, come on, go.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yes, I'm going over the GT3 here, oh god. This car's rejoining!
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
The thing is, I don't want to lose your overall position. You know, kind of important.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yeah, I mean, I've been dealing with other issues. Not the issues I've been dealing with, but I'm not sure if it's the OS or there's like just a defect on my camera sensor on my phone. Is my
Clear on the right.
main shooter does not want to focus
Car on the
correctly.
right. Clear on the right.
Like it's somehow. Well, do we have a GT3 around us right now? No, we don't. I thought I had a GT3 up my inside, but I guess that was. Oh god, the fucking GT3 is off!
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Lamau gets passed by a GT4 car. Skill issue there.
Slow car ahead.
Okay.
Car on the right.
Maybe you could finally now stay ahead of me and not have to force me to deal with you again in a short period of time.
Well done, mate. That's all best.
And yeah, I mean, my main championship rival seems to not be here tonight. In GT4. He was there last 2 weeks. The 2 races before that, he was always late on turn up, but he still turned up at least for them. But tonight he's not here. Yeah, the fun part is I was planning to do another desktop stream from Linux tomorrow, making my Metro series a weekly occurrence of Wednesdays. So that was a plan. I don't know if I can quite deliver on it. I was working on finally, you know, making a schedule graphic for myself and, you know, publishing it. But that got a bit derailed when I had finished it, making it, and when I exited the car, this entire thing got derailed. With my phone getting its fast corrupted. I didn't even work too much today on it. I just could dump the recovery lock, and that's basically it. When I saw that, it was basically the same error as last time. Skidder. I don't know what you're trying to go towards there. But yeah, my intent is perhaps doing a little metro stream, but like I'm not doing this on my old phone. It was running Meowfest at one point. I was one point streaming from that thing, but like it's a definitely worse battery life, and it's like it also runs a lot slower, like a lot slower. The thing is struggling to just sometimes, you know, exist, so cut it some slack. The thing was $80 on sale back in 2019, so it has valiantly this Chinese soldier soldiering on, but look, it's there was a reason why I replaced the damn thing. And it wasn't quite the battery life, it was mainly just because it was awful to use. It was really just so terribly slow. I'm booting into your Zero install. I was talking to another friend of mine, and he's a bit of a particular individual. Funny enough, his nickname is Fluffberg. Mine is DerGeneralFluff, so we ran into each other years ago in VR chat with like him being in a Senko model, and me just, you know, immediately jumping onto the opportunity to headbutt this one. Although he's more the extrovert type. Highly autistic. The amount of times he doesn't take social cues at all. Gets into weird arguments is something funny, but yeah, he's, you know, he looked at legs so like, why the fuck is there a distro called Fedora? That's cringe Reddit stuff. That was his reaction to that part. The main problem for him is that, you know, VR doesn't really work on the Linux and VR in general. It's not great. You get Unity to run, which is, you know, that's his main time spent. He doesn't even play VR that much. He mainly uses Unity to work on models. That's his kind of jam, besides playing Deep Rock Galactic and you know, his other hobbies of just maintaining an aquarium. Yeah, he does. That actually reminds me slightly of you, but like he's definitely more autistic than you. I'm going to install Chilled VR. Yeah, this is a thing that I should probably do and try my hand on, but I also should try my hand on obviously exporting models to it. Namely my Project 2 model. The question is, what can I even do in terms of like interactive stuff? Because boy oh boy, the entire and not well, they replaced, what is it called? They replaced dynamic bones with fist bones, I think it was. What was the other thing? I don't know. I think Huh? We suffered a puncture. 10 minutes into the race. Now that's not great. And we're already down to like... We've lost an entire PSI on that tire, so like this is not good. I don't know how this happened. I mean, okay, I say that I run hard over the curb, but like... Come on, this is normal. This track. You run this line every single day. It's been a while since I punctured a tire in this game, so... But yeah, the bigger issue is just, you know, how do I socialize on this tassel? Because, you know, I can hop on Viager and there's usually in my infinite friends list that I've been wanting to prune for like, I think 2 years at this point, and I've had written an entire list of like, hey, these are the people that I still run into, so like, these I need to keep, but like, the rest I need to prune afterwards. And like, I've been keeping like a list for like 2 years at this point, and I think I can still prune like 70% or so. Like that's a number and a half. Okay, so cannot turn into a Ferrari. Why turn into a Ferrari? I'm driving a Mercedes. We're doing a Hamilton here. At the Silverstone GP in 2020, I think it was, when that happened. Finish with all of the tire. All of us are front left in that case. Gonna finish without a rear right, I don't care. This is brands. All you need to do is finish on the circuit. This is basically the entire expectation. It's not like you can overtake here. Into the void. Oh yeah, right, the Ferrari also of science. Because you know, science write himself up as one of the luckiest people in the world. That Ferrari here has done his pit stop already, so we... Oh, that's great that you decided to pass me around the outside here. No, you didn't.
Car on the left.
Thanks for compromising my line anyway. For no discernible reason besides... Big nuisance. Box body is pre-installed with DistroBox. Yeah, I mean, didn't you like pick one of those immutable Fedora distros? Then it's not too surprising that they pre-install DistroBox. Because otherwise, you know, you can't really install any software anyway. And if they advertise, you know, the feature of... Hey, you can install any software from any distro. It's like, yeah, they kind of need to ship DistroBox because this is the entire trick behind it. And Atomic. Oh yeah, right. That's the other side. I mean, Atomic is basically immutable, but like with a different label. They're interesting, but like the problem is that they aren't in mainstream distros. I mean, yes, you're using a Fedora spin, but like it's still like some sort of weird Fedora spin. I don't think putting a new user onto Fedora is a particularly great idea.
Clear on the right.
Although I haven't actually used that with Fedora myself. But it is a technically besides Silverlight a stable release distro with a relatively fast release cadence, so like that's kind of a thing. No, honestly I don't follow too many. Like sometimes it's like, yeah, I don't keep up with that many things. I'm just trying to, you know, stay on top of my operating system at times. And not just... I may catch the big stuff, but like, I'm not too immersed actually in this entire atomic display. Yeah, I've definitely heard the word Bazide. The thing is, I've heard of them, like, but like, that's been the extent of it. I mean, I feel like with atomic desktops, I'm like at the same stage that I was with Wayland about 6 months ago. Oh, actually, I knew somewhat about Wayland 6 months ago, about a year ago with Wayland. Because frankly, I had no clue about Wayland at that point, and I was already daily driving Linux for over a year at that point on my laptop, so go figure about that. Well, that was an LXQt desktop, so I was running X11 there. With some really strange effects on that one, with like really weird staring artifacts. So like I made a point of running Wayland with when I installed Arch onto it in January. The thing that I realized, however, still anyway, is that I still had some weird artifacts, and like apparently scaling the desktop by using a scaling factor of 115% is like just cursed. Like text boxes for some reason would like halfway through the text box like shift the pixel down or up randomly, and other weird shenanigans like that that you could see, and it's just like, especially if you mouse over, they suddenly shift around, and like that's just really weird. Apparently, and I'm like, let's try a different scaling factor. Like it fixed the entire problem. Like 110, 120, 125, like all of those work fine. But it's just like 115 seems to be cursed. Which might have been also the issue in the X11, you know. GNOME app send hub. I'm dealing with a GNOME app because I have events for my PDF reader. And I'm pretty sure that's a GNOME app because it completely ignores the fact that I've that I customized my top bar in terms of the icons I have, and the buttons and icons I have accessible to me on all of my windows, where I have specifically customized it to ship with a topmost button, which on a laptop is really useful because I can just pin documents and stuff into the foreground while I'm typing something on the terminal in the background, so that's neat, but oh boy, that it just ignores that fact. So I'm pretty sure it's a GNOME app. It's just the standard make files for my... Yeah, I know, we're down to 2, we have lost the entire 2 PSI already. We're losing a PSI per 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes we lose a PSI. This is not a good statistic. I mean, you can drive these tires down to like, I don't know, 20 PSI. So we probably will be fine, but like, this is not gonna go great. Like, the pace is not gonna like this, and I will not be able to build enough of a gap to justify changing tires in the pit stop. So we have to, you know, run this thing as is till the end. Just have to... Well, you installed Fedora, that's kind of like your fault then. This is a bad start. Okay, open SSL missing, that sounds like not good.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Faster car.
But yeah, it's also the case that I don't distro hop much. I mean, I was on Ubuntu for like 2 years. I've now swapped to Arch. Swapped both my machines over to Arch. I do run different distros for my server, but even then I don't touch these things too much. I have an Ubuntu server, I have I have obviously Proxmox, which is Debian, and then I have TrueNAS, which is FreeBSD, and then you don't really touch that part of the operating system. And then I have 2 Alpine virtual machines for my Kubernetes cluster.
Clear on the right.
So an Alpine, obviously, notoriously infamous. A lot of my Linux knowledge is just because I had to fuck around with Alpine and find out.
Clear on the left.
With very little documentation that helped me, and that's what.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Faster car is approaching.
But yeah, one of the important things that I was, like the other day I said in the Tracky chat is like, you know, some people just lose the forest for trees in terms of just,
Clear on the right.
in terms of running Linux, because it's because yeah, there's a bunch of distros, but like, don't overcomplicate it for yourself.
Clear on the right.
You can just install something like Mint and just leave it and use it. You don't.
Faster car is approaching.
Yes, you can distro hop if you want to, but like, especially as a beginner, it's not a great idea. No, you aren't quite a beginner anymore, but like, it's like, yeah, just leave the operating system be and just let it run. Get used to it. And once you understand what a thing does, you can replace it then
Car on
finally
the left.
with something else. You can start figuring out how to make it your own. Everything can be interchanged, but this doesn't mean you need to. We can greatly customize our desktops, but you don't have to. Yeah, distros with sensible defaults that you can just run out of the box. Install the software you need to run on them, and then just leave them.
Faster car approaching. Watch out.
Windows Copium. Well, that's not something you're gonna stop. Funnily enough, I still have also a bunch of memes on my old phone. But like, they're laying on the SD card for that one. I forgot what I was shooting. But I hadn't like quite dumped all the tabs on that phone that I had open. So I've kept effectively the SD card and I just haven't gotten around to dumping them all the tabs. Which is actually, funnily enough, a bunch of pictures of cute anime girls, not actually lewd ones. Funnily enough. But yeah, I had their, I stumbled over a meme that must be from like November at this point of like Gamers Den, and it's like the horse armor, and like over 250-pound horse armor said it was wildly ridiculed. And then today, it's like there's a piece of horse armor DLC for $65 more than the game. Like 3 people complain about it.
Low tire pressure. Stay away from curbs.
And then we're afterwards told off by an army of consumers to just not buy it if they don't like it. Yeah, that's sort of the state of things. You will have. You just cannot win them all. There's just too many consumers. Will just for some reason defend a billion dollar company for no particular reason. You're gonna defend my billion-dollar company.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
That was the entire Palworld thing earlier this year. And you dare encroach on Nintendo, and it's like... Yes. That was before they even killed users, so like... People weren't even like that hostile to Nintendo, but like people like... you made a monster game, and like, you took inspiration... What's the collecting game? And you took inspiration from the same inspiration that Nintendo used. So the monsters ended up looking vaguely similar. Occasionally, and then just like hitting utterly high or something, and then trying to correlate, a penguin. Yeah, that's on the side. That was a thing, and people just are weird. Kills the install. You have a Fedora package. A fucking no machine. I have genuinely not much clue about Fedora. I know they call their flavor spins now, and that's basically all I know. And then they do occasionally cutting edge stuff, and that's like trying to drop X11 completely out of the repo. So like, yeah, that's stuff that they do, but like, otherwise I don't know too much about them. Jump scare video, yeah. Loud noises jump scaring people, like that's not too new for me. We were still running relatively solid in terms of the gap balance. Like, he's back to like 8 seconds roughly now. Like, we're not dominating. Well, I'm saying I'm not dominating, I'm slowly creeping away, but like, I think in part this is because he's worse in traffic, so I've not made many losses in traffic so far. So there's that. So far only 2 GT4s are in the pits to complete their services, and I think, oh yeah, Wilson is now there. So my championship rival is the other car that's in the pits right now. Oh god, oh god, oh god, fucking hell, the brakes. The stolen cashiers. Going to cashies. I know you watched egg pods. It's for some reason I think you've done. But yeah, Wilson is now on the race, but like he's I think 18 laps down. Because he hasn't completed the pit stop, so I think he just joined the race literally halfway through. On GG to that one. We have P5 in GT4s in the pits, 8 laps down, so there's that.
Faster car coming behind you.
Your Windows 11 installed since all time 11. I mean, if you don't have right now anything on it that you can, kill and then replace the thing with Tiny 11, then yeah. I mean, you're gonna effectively install Windows again.
Car on the right.
Like, sure, it is not quite as bad Windows 11 anymore, but like, it's still a Windows 11. Man, that cost me a lot of time. But yeah, I do need to work again on data race to finally push this thing further forward and get stuff to actually run with it. Maybe start integrating it into my stream workflow. Although we're still quite away from that.
We're halfway through, not
But I want to integrate it on Windows first before I, you know, start streaming on Linux. But not quite cold turkeying that hard over. One terabyte M.2 to the 2 terabyte and just look. And put the SN85X into another system. I guess that's your 1 terabyte drive. Very fast 1 terabyte M.2 drive, I guess. I don't know. I no clue what you're doing at that point. I mean, my personal plans is probably keep my... Like, if I have to keep my Windows installed, I will probably go down... I have Windows installed on the 1 terabyte NVMe drive. And I will probably just reinstall it onto that one. The thing that I would probably do is get rid of the 2 terabyte Sata drive. Or at least move its file system type over. The thing is that I can right now it's an NTFS drive. Duh. Like, it would be probably preferable if it was, you know, Linux compatible formatting. But I mean, I can mount it and everything, but like, there's some things that don't quite behave correctly in an NTFS file system. In the DOS file system. It's just preferable to probably stay on. But I mean, if I make it a FAT32 partition, besides like, you know, funny issues with that, or an exFAT partition somehow, there's gonna be other funny problems that this causes. So I think I will just, you know, mount it as an XT4, and then if I need to transfer, you know, files between the operating systems, I just steal files from Windows. Or just put it onto the file share, because, you know, I mount those across. Man, that's some like, terrible driving there. The old PS5 SSD, okay. Oh yeah, right, those ship with a 1 terabyte drive where the operating system takes up already like 200 gigs or something. So you can just install like 1.5 Call of Duties on it. Oh god. Measuring drive sizes in Call of Duties. exFAT mentioned, yeah. The thing is, you can't format exFAT under Linux. You can format FAT32 under Linux easily, but not exFAT. You can mount exFAT, I'm pretty sure, but like you can't format it into a regular formatter. Oh yeah, I haven't set up my pit stop yet, but like, you know, fuck it, we're gonna just do it. I mean, I'm gonna be fine on fuel, probably. Not even checking. I know that I've burned less than 45 liters at the start. But yeah, we're not changing tires, but just we're not changing tires, but my slow puncture on the rear right the entire race, so we're not caring about that part. We're just taking 1 liter of fuel and just continue to run. There have been worse decisions before that. But yeah, is it genuinely like an 825 gigabyte drive, or isn't just the operating system of the PS5 taking up a bunch of space of it? No brakes! I think the others actually took tires. The Mahomey picked the only one who didn't. Yeah, Johnson is still in the pits. So my assumption is very likely that he's, you know, doing a full tire change, which is like, you know, not unreasonable, but like there's just a refuel stop in this race and we don't really need to change tires then.
Faster car coming up behind you.
Definitely not driving too fast. I think my front right also probably has a bit of a puncture. Who cares?
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Do need to practice for the race this weekend. Need to get the hang of the Porsche around Misano. Maybe pack some practice at the end of the stream, who knows. I don't quite feel like doing practice right now, it's just... I don't feel quite the energy for that. Like, it's just that... Suffering that data loss just... It's just that happening again, it's just too frustrating.
Car on the left. Faster car is approaching. Watch out. Clear on the left. Car on the
Goodbye,
right.
my friend.
Clear on the right.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways this... We have at least higher attendance now in this championship here with GT4, so that's at least something. What the fuck brakes? Like, this is my usual braking point, and it just went, nope. It just refused to slow down at that point. Also now right now behind me, but you know, as I said, he is like 16 to 18 laps down at this point. He's completed his mandatory pit stop, so you know, something. But he's just for the points. The point system is a bit wonky in this championship anyway. You get, I think 40 points for winning or something like that, 35, 40? Some number like that, or is it 30? I don't know. But yeah, you get that amount for winning, and then it's a 1 point decremental ladder down. So, yeah, finishing second or third, second and third is the same points difference as first and second. You literally just get 1 point. I mean, the most American point system I've ever seen in a while. The Americans are infamous for their every car that put even, you know, farted on the start line gets a point. Like, probably, actually, that's not even right. Like, you know, your car probably doesn't even really need to make the start to get a point. Like, that's sort of the points level. But like, even they still reward a win a bit higher than, you know, all the other points gaps. Usually. You can oftentimes, just due to that, still win like by just, well, running the races oftentimes and getting like high finishes. But, you know, and you also get rewarded for just, you know, finishing even outside of the top 10, but like, But like high consistent finishes is what like an American point system rewards, while an F1 FIA style point system rewards more wins. Especially the pre-90s with like the 6 points for a win. That's highly rewarding of a race win. But then the top 8 scoring system, like that's relatively equalized. Wins don't give too much, but the 25 down to 10, those are relatively rewarding for just relatively reward winning a lot, but like also allow scoring some points down further the order. Like a win is very important in the modern F1 point system. It's give you 7 points more than second place. Which still gives you like 3 points more than third place. That's can be big.
Faster car coming down behind you.
But yeah, with this 1 point decremental, it's like, you know, just attending is basically most of the points you're gonna make, especially in a small class like GT4, where you get like 6 or 7 cars in a race per week. Most of your points are just made up from, you know, attending. If you don't attend, you just lose a lot. There's a dropped score on this, so like, he sort of was actually a threat. He's sort of, you know, still a threat after this round, even though he's gonna likely drop this one. For me, my second place finish at Alton is right now I dropped. That's still a pretty good point scoring statistic. But I mean, he could have very much won Spa, and like if he's, you know, was able to turn up earlier than he is right now, he would genuinely be quite a threat to me. Even if he's not driving the meta. Although we do have Bob for GT4s. We do have actually GT4 Bob here. So they're bopping us in GT4, which is nice. Which means why he's probably able to at all compete with the bloody Camaro, if anything.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
The Merc hasn't been a total disaster, but like also I haven't had to push the car yet. I mean, I've ran the Porsche 935 in a championship, and you know, that car was fine-ish. It was noticeable that it wasn't particularly great performing, but like I could still win with it. And sort of that feeling is giving me off my Merc at times. Like, the brakes are not great on this thing. I am not a big fan. I thought the McLaren could get much worse, but like, damn, this thing didn't exist. Yeah, make the McLaren have good brakes. When I ran the oh yeah, I have Nordschleife series this week again. On the night from Saturday to Sunday. I need to think about what car I'm gonna run for that one. Yeah, I could bring the Mercedes as well. I guess I could spin the wheel to figure out what car I'm gonna drive. Already driven a Ginetta, which was pretty good. Maybe I bring the Cayman.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
To drive the Cayman. Alpine would probably not drive because of its rear mirror situation. And I mean, we don't need it too much on the Nordschleife, considering I don't know if we have a 90-minute race this week or the 120. Because 120 I can finish that without getting lapped. I will have to obviously deal on the first lap with traffic because GT3 be dumb, duh. But like, besides that, I'm, you know, there's not too much to consider for car choice. And prepared backup and then cloning process. We're like clone troopers.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Yellow flag in sector 3.
I'm running P14 overall right now. Not even close to last in terms of GT3s. There's a bunch of GT3s behind us, but like the next GT3 is 1.7 laps up ahead of us. So there's the difference between, you know, the competent and the incompetent. There's a definite difference here. The dreaded boot into shit 11. The thing is, I have actually used I have used the like leaked insider build for Windows 11 back in the day. I booted that in a virtual machine for I've used it actually for like clean slate testing of plugins for SimHub. So I can test them on a clean install, see if something is amiss or something. So yeah, that's something I did with Win 11.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Faster car behind you.
So yeah, Win 11 is... Used it for that. I think I have a regular Win 11 ISO at this point as well, but like that one is also old. Not had much news for that. I kind of need to set up finally a Windows virtual machine within my main Linux install, just for the like cross compilation and stuff, and set it up in a way that I can access the file system within it relatively easily, so I can do to put files onto it for compilation and stuff like that. Because I do need it to, you know, have access to. Because I do need to obviously compile some software still for Windows, so you know the normies can use it. Especially for data race is important. So far it's barely been like tested ever on Windows, it's mainly just runs on Linux. Although properly you can't really test that software under well, a virtual machine. You will have to have a full Windows environment for testing the data reader plugins later on. But obviously testing that, you know, it still compiles is quite an important part. Pretty slow into them to USD. How many SSDs do you have?
Faster car behind you.
Thank you. You have Like, you were constantly discussing, like, hey, should I install this distro? It's like, I guess there's a reason why you... Well, you can impile the photo constantly distro hop if you have like so many drives that you can just install a bunch of different operating systems onto
Clear on the left.
constantly. Yeah, this is a regular occurrence for you. God. What should I say? Put into a cleanser or rescue Scylla.
Faster car coming up behind. Watch out. Car on the left.
I've got another 10 minutes to go at this point, finally. At least. Stuff is wrapping up here. Finally. I mean, I was expecting this race to go a lot worse because, you know, if Wilson actually had turned up on time, this would have been probably a pretty hard race for me. I mean, I have not driven well at all tonight. Just my competition was a lot slower and also took a tire change when it was really not necessary. Like, he would be a lot closer if he hadn't done that. But it doesn't matter. We prevailed and that's all that...
Right front.
Yeah, who cares at this point? As long as my tire doesn't completely delaminate, I don't care. That's all that matters.
Clear on the right.
So I kinda wanna talk to you again. I need...
Faster car behind you.
If you're too basey or not. From my perspective, you're based. Based and base.
Car on the left.
I love
Clear on the
this.
left. Car on the left.
Fucking hell, Jesus.
Faster car is approaching.
You're fighting for P12 and 13, guys. Like, the funny part is I'm literally fighting you for position even. Because you're P13 and I'm P14. When you have 2 laps on me. What was my on? Can't wait these few seconds. Oh god, not the eye is off completely. Well, that's your attempt at P12 probably done for. I mean, you're 2 seconds back. It's technically possible that you can get back to him, but like, sure should have your work cut out for that one. Yeah, it's not like I forgot, but I need to work on delivery finally for my Porsche G3R. My 992 car needs paint shop. I need to finally finish that stuff. Work on it. This is an assignment work, but like not too much. It's due on Monday next week, so it's not too bad. Just need to actually do it, so probably better if I do it sooner rather than later. Maybe I won't stream better tomorrow just because of all the silly things happening. As I said, I wanted to have the schedule out already today and like just... I mean, I was planning to do it on Monday, but like I didn't start working on the thing. So I had other things to do. And you know, it didn't materialize quite today. So yeah, I can get that stuff to work tomorrow. Oh, but yeah. I mean, I passed out earlier a bit. Well, a bit of an improvement compared to yesterday. I slept quite a bit that afternoon. And today I didn't sleep too much. Well, I didn't sleep the afternoon. I slept like in the evening past dinner. I slept afternoon. I slept like an hour, I think. It wasn't particularly chosen. I just passed out briefly and then came back. And woke up just before 9 PM and I'm like, oh yeah, I have a race today. Well, that was close. Not alarm or anything. Could have very much overslept this race. It wouldn't be, you know, my first rodeo of doing such a thing. I lost championships due to that before. The one championship my Maserati could have won, but like, you know, didn't. Yeah, one. If we've probably wrapped up this championship, if I mathematically wrap it up, then I will probably fill the Maserati because, you know, I can change cars at any round, so good figure. Thing is that Wilson is still attending, so like it's mathematically he's still in the fight always. So that makes it difficult. Also, the final run is, you know, Nürburgring, Nordschleife. And we did see that the Ginetta is a lot faster, for example, on the Nordschleife than the Maserati, so yeah, there's that. Yeah, and as long as I feel like I can, you know, finish.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Get a relatively average finish, then that should be fine.
Faster car is approaching. Watch out.
Yeah, I mean, Wilson is running P6 right now, although he could gain P5 because P5 is still in the pits right now. 16 laps down on me. P4 is 10 laps down. Like, how the how in the ungodly name are you going this many laps down in a race? Genuine question, kind of like towing isn't enough to lose this many laps. Like, Wilson is the only one who's excused, sort of, because he joined halfway through the race. But like, even with how short the lap times are, like 10 laps, that is, that's a good 15 minutes. Like, you're just standing in the pit lane or something. The rest are still in the same lap as me, which is, you know, expected. I think both of them changed tires, so like that's the main thing that hurts them. Otherwise they would be within about 20 seconds of me, which makes it a very reasonable performance. That's really good from them. Maybe even within 10 seconds, although I think, yeah, Runev wouldn't be. Runev would be probably within 25. Johnson would be close to 10, and Runev has been, what, 15 seconds of, is right now 15 seconds of Johnson, so yeah, he would be a bit further back, but like that's still nothing to sneeze at completely. But like, the others are like, boy, how do you lose this many laps? Like, Reaper has straight up lost half an hour worth of laps. Because that's like kind of stops being funny. I have to figure out where the race leader is actually. I didn't hear if he's, you know, started the final lap. I'm finishing. Yeah, I know it's a 22 psi. You're like politely, be quiet. Silence. Reaper is still standing on the pit lane. I think they're not finishing here. But that will open them up for Wilson just, you know, taking the position on them. Likely before the end of this race. Which is a bit silly. Yeah, you just need to drive it at a lap or two. Yeah, the leader was behind me, so I could have actually, you know, taken one last lap. Save myself some time here driving, but sure, we're not gonna do that then. Right, Johnson is obviously finished now. I do not have a need to jump out of your way. You're not hunting anyone down. Actually, you do have someone who's like 2 seconds behind you, so I guess that's why you're panicking slightly, but like you don't need to panic this hard. There's also a GT4 overall position behind me about a second. So yeah, I have to also speed up slightly to make sure that I don't lose that overall position.
Clear on the left.
Alright, Stocko, you're gonna get beaten by GT4 here. What is Wilson?
Excellent job. What a race. See you in the pits. Bring it back.
Yeah, Wilson's still GG, people. Yeah, Wilson got P5 in the end, as I kind of expected. Or actually, no, this is not clear, although I think they did. Well, they're off the server now, so it's like it's a bit confusing. Gonna find for my survivor of the snooze fest. Snooziest. Ah, yeah.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
But yeah, I think Rapper lost the position there to Wilson. Which sucks a bit. They could have done something to prevent that, but it's also, a bit better for Wilson. One more position to be a bit closer in the championship fight to me. Even if I want to perhaps drive the Maserati before the season is over, I think that's still going to be possible at this race. As long as I don't run some horrible races in the meantime. If I can keep, finishing even second, that's gonna be probably enough. Well, it's a bit tighter then. But Wilson has given up quite a few. No, not that much, because this will become his dropped still. This will still be his dropped, because I think his result at Red Bull Ring is 4th place or 3rd place, something like that, and then finished 3rd at Bathurst because there was only 3 cars running in that race. So there's that, and then there is obviously Alton where he won, and then this Spa where I won and he finished 2nd, and then yeah, that wraps all of those up. Fluent started. Yeah, let's check. Yeah, yeah, Wilson got Rapper in the end. There were GT3 cars that are listed behind that. Stocko hasn't actually finished the race. Somehow. Despite him literally crossing the finish line just after me. I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe he didn't actually finish behind me, or he just, the timer expired just before he would cross the line. Something like that. It's a bit weird. But he will probably be fine scoring in P15. I mean, we can just briefly check the replay. Maybe there was something. Yeah, Stocker. He doesn't get a lappers. Oh yeah, he comes into the pits. Okay, that explains that. He came into the pits and retired, didn't cross the start-finish line. Because the start-finish line is very late on the circuit, so funnily enough, you could probably get away with the entire cheat of doing your pit stop on the final lap, and then just, drive up to the finish line. So yeah, that works. You can totally do this on this track, and Suzuka. You can't do it at Spa, because the finish line is very early on. But here you can definitely do that. Because the pit stop is completed when you go off the tracks. It will be marked off as completed a mandatory pit stop. While drive-throughs are completed at the drive-throughs and also stop-go penalties are completed on the pit exit. So you pay with those. So those are best. You just so you can't serve those on the final lap anymore. So your best choice for those is always to just if you get them, if you can only serve them on the final lap, it's just drive across the finish line, because you get anyway time penalty, even if you cross the finish line in the pit lane. But on tracks like this one, you can, if you have a mandatory pit stop still not done, and you're especially in a multi-class situation where the leader is behind you, but your next opponent is behind the race leader. You can get away with doing the pit stop effectively in the final lap. At least if there's no pit window, which there isn't in this league. That would have been possible, but like, obviously there was no need to, you know, risk it or anything. Just hit my pit stop in the middle of the race, and that's just basically completed that problem. Took my 1 liter and got it over with. There's not enough time lost to really justify it. But yeah, when you have like a guy like 10 seconds behind you and the race leader's between you and him, like you could get away with doing a full 30-second pit stop on the end to complete the tire requirement or something like that, right? Okay, then I think this wraps the stream up. I will probably, I don't know, go to bed or deal with flashing a new operating system onto my phone again. It's pain. Alright then. And no, I'm not cute. By the law of the cute, I must deny any claims that I'm cute. Right. Hello. Second hand. Okay. So, Toga's recruiting video editors and stuff like that. That's fun. This league is frigging fucking okay, they need some people to join practice, but like I'm technically not one of these people that needs to join that practice. So this stuff, well, I can't help them unless. So there's that. Alright. Let's see, we can check after this, like, you know, it's an hour past, we could check if, you know, my deployment has decided to corrupt itself again. I will utterly be kicking and screaming if that happened again. Yep, it's corrupted itself, precisely an hour later. Why are the tokens no longer refreshing themselves? This is fucking hilarious. It's like, why is the OAuth token expired then? You know, you dumbass. Like, why are you not refreshing it anymore at this point? You were doing fine when you were in testing, but like suddenly I take you out of testing and you suddenly don't know how to refresh OAuth tokens anymore. You just go completely ballistics and just lose your mind. Well, I think I need to check maybe if they actually give me a refresh token, because that could be genuinely the issue, that they for some reason refuse to give the refresh token out after, you know, giving it out earlier. If that's the case, then I'm like very surprised. But like also not, because I'm at this point like used to getting completely screwed over by this stuff. CD. That's then shells ls cat this one expiry. Yeah, there seems to be no refresh token in there. There's an access token. Token type, expiry. Obviously the token has at this point expired. But yeah, there's no refresh token. What the fuck? Can I politely say what the fuck is that shit? I guess that's really shouldn't happen, and why is this happening, and why you're screwing me over like this? You know? It worked when it wasn't testing, but suddenly as soon as you remove testing, it doesn't, you know, ask me for, produce the refresh token anymore. Thanks! Well, did you win? Yes, I did win. 7%. Oh yeah, but like I'm ranting at my stupid bot breaking even further than it was before. It's like, oh, It's like, you know, it worked previously, at least for, you know, 7 days. But like, you know, I can just take it out of testing and then like it will just work. You know, it was refreshing tokens fine. Well, it actually isn't producing any refresh tokens anymore when it gets its initial token for some reason. Like, it was working fine before, but like now it doesn't work anymore. It's like, I have a bit of an issue with this. A tad bit. A lot of an issue with this. Which means I need to go back and fix that problem. This just adds. Well, the competition wasn't there tonight. Wilson turned up literally half an hour into the race. And, well, the others weren't quite fast. They weren't quite consistent up there. I mean, they were clocking decent times in qualifying. I was only like, I think, by 2/10 on pole. So, yeah. And I was very surprised how fast I got the car to go. That was not expected quite. But yeah, that was 15%. I see your drive cloning there. Is the percentage number you're doing. But yeah, that's... And my victory was very much ensured when they decided to change tires and I didn't. Despite me having a rear right puncture. I ran at the end with 22 PSI on the tire. I just didn't give a shit. And I didn't die majorly at least. I mean, I ran off into grass like once or twice. Because... the brakes didn't quite work at times. And that happens with this car occasionally. And it's also brands. You can sort of get away with quite a bit. Yeah, I didn't care. Stuff hasn't been working too much. So that's... I mean, the bot didn't... I've literally unfixed the bot. It's worse now. And my phone has decided to brick itself. I mean, it's not quite bricked. I can unbrick it. So I guess it's not a brick. Per definition, but it doesn't work anymore right now, and I have to fix it and lose all my data again. So fun. But yeah, I will call it a night now at this point. Maybe I'm back to more with the Metro stream. After all, I haven't finished making the schedule that I wanted to make today. I didn't finish making it, so no one can claim that I've scheduled Metro for tomorrow. Even though I sort of have scheduled Metro for tomorrow, because I kind of would like to make it a weekly series, and I think Wednesdays is a decent slot. I don't have anything really to do on Wednesdays. Thursdays is a lot worse. So I think Wednesdays is a decent slot for that one. To do a weekly series, playing Metro on Wednesdays. Doing a 12 hours stream. Just 12 hours, what the fuck am I saying? 4 hour stream. Gonna have to replay that one chapter to actually get up there with, you know, a decent amount of ammo and stuff. But We should be fine after that. We should be able to then finally continue on to the game. And like, yeah, it will be a useful pre-screen, but also I have to, you know, fix my phone first, because I can't stream without that, and I would like the schedule to be done. And I need to, you know, do an assignment for next week, and I need to finish my delivery for Saturday. All of these things need to be done. A bunch of stuff that is like in pretty decent priority that needs to be done, and like I have basically no energy to do anything. I very much feel like going to bed at this point. Right. Okay then. Oh, and yeah, I need to fix the fucking bot, which is, you know, I don't know how to do that. I will just yell it go multiple times till it just works finally, hopefully. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'll at least fix the way the images get downloaded. Cache is installing now. Oh, you head to caches. I will call it a night now. We'll boop our little friend here. For the first stream, Lucas. Well, if I actually stream tomorrow, you might be able to see. Although, I mean, my plan is probably to start at like 9 PM, so like, you know, it's gotta be at that point like a few hours into the stream already. So yeah. Yeah, boop. You stupid idiot. You stupid dog idiot. Right. Okay then. Good night. Bye bye.